Good morning. In business, there's such a thing as first mover advantage. In presentations, there's such a thing as last mover advantage. So you get to correct your slides, your talk, and you get tips from the previous speakers. Okay. So through the years, I've learned a lot of things about teaching methodologies, aside from the formal education. Okay, but it's very challenging today to teach this generation. They still don't have a term for this generation. Some call it the Facebook generation. Okay. So I think all of us are not really, by definition, really the Facebook generation. So that's one of the challenges that we really have to face. Okay. So I tried a lot of teaching methodologies to teach different subjects in business, including economics. I tried role-playing, games, simulation, what they call this, debates, other things. One thing that I recently explored is to use economics to teach, not only economics but other management subjects. Okay. So I'm not a singer, but my mom is major in music, young in particular. So I grew up in a very big family with a lot of music inside our home. So I was wondering what effect it will really give on me as not only as a person but maybe as a professional someday. So can we go to the next slide? Okay. So this will be my outline for today's presentation. First, my musical influences, challenges in teaching and learning, digital tools, LMS, then Edu 2.0. Then there will be a short demo on what I've been doing, and maybe some of you are into Edu 2.0 are doing. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. Musical influences. Okay. No si Banasi. Sino ba sila? Okay. That's the song of Sampagita during I think the 80s or 70s. So Jejemon is not the original. They have their version of Jejemon during those decades of 70s. So this is one of the biggest influence in my personal choice of music, because but although I was born during the 60s, it wasn't until the 90s, early 90s, that I fell in love with the Beatles. So more than 20 years after the band broke up, I fell in love with the band, with their music in particular. Right? So up to now, I collect their records. They always release new records from time to time. They recently released a remastered. They have to make a big business out of the big Beatles. Okay, so from Beatles for babies up to the classical Beatles, I collect up to now. Okay. So next slide. Who are my other influences? While growing up, okay, of course. Whether you like it or not, you'll hear a lot about disco, John Travolta doing disco. Okay. And I also grew up in my aunt's home every summertime and I think Christmas vacation with a lot of Yoyoy Villame records. Okay, from Magellan to exercise time to Umaga, Philippine geography, and the others. So, the next slide. Okay, during the 80s, okay, it's either you're just fanatic or you're into karaoke pa yata tawag. Okay? It was karaoke. Now, it's okay. So, how you know to bother is to you, the subtitle that at this time to not. Okay, next slide. Okay, raise your hands. Okay, our local version of the Beatles. Okay, in fact, February of '95, we were able to invite them. I think I was the moderator of the senior council. we paid them only 15,000 pesos. During their last reunion concert, I heard they were paid 1 million each. Just for that, from 15,000 to 1 million each. Okay? So that was a big bargain, no? 15 years ago. Okay, next. Now, of course, dapat nakakilibin na tayo. So, how do I sum up my musical interest? I enjoy listening to different types of music. My mom is into classical music. My dad listen to a lot of Pilita Corrales. Kompleto yata ang to na Pilita Corrales. My brothers are into jazz. I'm more really pop. May pop talaga yung... I used to hate Joey Ayala a lot during... I mean, not him as a person, but his kind of music. My sisters would always lend me their cassette pa nun eh. And I did not appreciate the songs of Joey Ayala then. Okay. Now, maybe it's because of age, or maybe it's because of wisdom, or both, or now I begin to appreciate more our local music, OPM in particular. Okay. So what made me use music to teach economics? You should watch a very short video about students today. If you still know who our students are, not only by name, but what they do, what are their interests, what they like. Let's try. my students, knowing our students, there's a big gap between what we want them to, how they want to be taught these academic lessons, academic teaching, and when they want to read the books that we impose on them, right? These are the challenges based on the video and based on my personal experience. Okay. Today's generation is very visual and auditory. But let me qualify. Okay? Visual, as in, they want to change channels while you are lecturing inside a classroom. Okay? So you're the best visual aid for your students. Auditory. You ask them to memorize things for their exam. They don't. Sometimes they do. Okay. But when there is a very popular song, Lady Gaga, or they do know the lyrics, right? They do know the lyrics. So, selected yung kanilang visual and auditory. And I've heard from my professor that the women, or girls in particular, are more auditory, okay, than men. It's not enough that kasama niyo yung mahal niyo sa buhay, kailangan sinasabihan niyo, kayong mahal kayo. Okay, men in general, basta kasama, they just keep quiet, happy na kami. Okay? I don't know. Okay. Let's find out later. Okay, multitasking. Okay, I have a teenage daughter who's into gadgets. Computers, games. When you say games, you have to define what gadgets they're using. Cell phones, TV. Everything is in front of her. So when I ask her a question, what are you doing? I'm studying. Why are you using the computer for research? Okay naman performance sa class. So we just have to realize that this is reality. We cannot impose that. During our time, during our time, wala kasing internet. So don't say don't chat during our time. We chat, but in a different form. Right? I was asking the more senior friends of mine, ano ang vision nung araw? Radio. Okay. So, radio was the in thing before. Okay? They have very short attention span. Right? So if you lecture economics about elasticity, about supply, tutulugan ka niya, they'll fall asleep. Okay. What I do is, I capture their attention during the first 15 minutes of class. The rest, very interactive. Very interactive. Of course, just like most of us, maybe, we have cell phones, iPads, other kinds of stuff. If we can get them at home, something is wrong. Right? Nakalimutan sa bahay, parang hindi mapakali. Dito na dito. Right? So, what are the new teaching methodologies? We have a lot of books about teaching methodologies, right? But what I find very useful or effective for me as far as I'm concerned is to use music. Not really to teach everything about economics in the form of music, but to complement what I've been teaching inside the classroom. Let me go to next slide. So what I did, okay, I put all of my lessons in Facebook. Okay. Facebook started in Harvard. Okay? So, if a parent, let's say, that's another Friendster na naman. You say, students, you say, Mom, it started in Harvard. Okay? So there is something very good about Facebook. But what I did was to create a group. Okay, so they don't get to see my friends, and I don't see their personal information. When we enter our group, all we see is the profile pic and the name. Okay? So it's very simple. Go to the application, create a group, then whatever group you want to put that there, yeah, say ABC group, okay, or XYZ. Then the rest, it's all there. Okay, you only need, I think, 5 steps to create this group. Okay? There are different settings. If you want it to be visible to everybody on this planet, then there's such a setting for that. But what I did was to choose yung secret. The joke inside that class, it's a secret society. Okay? It's a secret society. So, nobody can see that they're a member of this group, except all members of the group, including me, as the creator of the group. Okay, so I created 6 groups for my 6 sections. That's very tedious. Imagine uploading 6 times for a lesson. But there are benefits for doing that. Imagine if you only have one group for more than 200 students. That would be chaos in terms of grading each one of your students, right? So it's manageable to create 6 groups for this section, as far as I can say from my experience. I linked Ngrade. Ngrade is an online grade book. So they get to see their grades individually. You don't get to see the grades of your classmates. Only the teacher can change the grades if there is a mistake. So they get to correct me if I commit a mistake when putting their scores in the exams, etc. Okay. From the day we started the class, they know their, as we go along throughout the semester, they get to know their class standing, real time. As soon as I check their, I give them a grade, let's say, in the recitation room. It's, they can see it immediately. Okay. I use a lot of PowerPoint of Prentice. We have an online book, okay? Except for the entire text, because I don't want to steal, okay, as Jibo would say. And it's they allow that for academicians to borrow, okay, what they put up here. I don't own it anyway. I'm not claiming I wrote the book, the online book. So here, the online book, you have PowerPoint, slides, it's all there, online pieces, current events. Okay, you can even have an online quiz if you want to. Don't have to check. You can check the system to check what is the set. Okay. I use a lot of videos from YouTube. These were musical content, among other things. In my lessons I got from the internet. It was made by a professor in one university in the US. So last summer what I did was to put all of my lessons, the different subjects I'm teaching, in Edu to that school. So I'm running Facebook in parallel with Edu. So if anything happens to Facebook, right, you still have a backup for your classes. Mahirap naman, mawala na lang bigla eh. So we start again from day 1, right? Or if anything happens to Edu, I don't think that will happen because the country boundary is here. Right? Okay. So, I use a lot of OPM. From, sabi ko from Asin. Sabi ko na Asin. So, ayan. Kabawon. Ako Highland Society. And you don't only choose just for the sake of looking at music, but be related to the lessons. So, for example, yung Kayod Kabayo, Kayod Balikan Gawal Kabago, which was used by her in the movie of I, then as okay, you can relate that to labor. Okay? Whereas when I discuss something about externalities of pollution, okay, you can get several videos kasi of karaniwang tao. Ayan. When you talk about GDP, you can look for songs, OPM songs, related to patronizing our local products. So it must be related to what I'm teaching. Okay? So they can blog or write an essay, so you can start a discussion about the message of the song and relate it to the current lesson. Okay. Is it effective? It is. Why? I've seen the students perform better. This semester I'm handling 6 sections. In one section, I have a Japanese, Vietnamese, Burmese, Timor-Leste, and South Korean. Okay. My problem, my challenge now is how they can connect with OPM and relate it to our lesson. But there is a solution to that. So, what I ask them to do is for them to share something about their culture, their music, which might be related to our current lesson. Okay. So, they perform better in the class. Okay. One of my foreign students, when she recites inside the class, it's very difficult to comprehend what she's saying. Online, there's no accent. Okay? I can easily understand what she's saying. Okay? That's you're true. Validate, right? How sure are you that the person you're talking with is your student? You validate that inside the class. Okay. Feedback from students. Okay. Some good feedback from my students. They really enjoyed of course, they're into Facebook. I made an informal survey. On the average, they spend 3 hours on Facebook every day. I'm just one click away, literally, right? And they're comfortable with Facebook. I don't have to teach them how to use Facebook. Out of my 218 students last semester, only 3 were not into Facebook. So, right there and then, I taught them how to have a Facebook account. Excel is student evaluation for learning situation. So they evaluate us every semester. Eh, pasado pa naman ako, kaya I'm doing something good, right? And my students greet you after the semester. I serve well. So pinati ka ba? Kaya maganda introduction sa akin ni Abby. Abby was my former student. Unfortunately, Abby, you're not in the Facebook generation. Right? Okay. Go ahead. So based on my, there are a lot of things that you can get from the internet. Yung sabi nga, all my economic lessons I get from the internet. Okay? Joel said yesterday, click lang na click. Hindi sasabog yan. And Jigo said earlier, you know, don't be afraid to ask. Yung sumulat niya ng buong episodes, I think, up to episode 35 in economics. Okay. So I thank her for all the videos that she posted. By the way, the videos are only very short. The average time is, I think, around 4 minutes. Short attention span. They won't watch videos for more than 7 minutes, I think. Matutulog din sila. Okay? So short lang, short. And from time to time, in Facebook, I learned it from 140 University. We put their short concepts about economics or whatever it is you're teaching. The opportunity cost. If there was a question earlier, okay, is there a conscious effort on the part of ICT to promote Philippine culture? I have answered that. In my case, there is. Okay, the long-term plan, as far as I'm concerned, personally, is to Philippinize economics. Okay? If I were to study again, how would I like my professor to teach me economics? And by the way, there is a student named Leon Ramos. Okay, that's me. In all of my 6 sections, okay, I have a close student by the name of, that's me. Noel. Okay? Ramos may middle name. So they wanted, sir, who's Leon Ramos? There's no guy in the class. Okay, that's me. So I get to see, from your point of view, whatever I do. The perspective of the students are different from the perspective of the teacher. Magkaibang magkaiba yun. So, almost every day, my profile pic, the group's profile picture is different. There's a conscious effort on my part to really promote Philippine culture. I started with the Philippine flag, again from the internet. Okay. Proudly Filipino. I'm proud to be a Filipino. I found that up with in relation to Independence Day, Independence Day. I put there, ako yung isang mabuting Pilipino, video, of Manuel Navarro. Even the foreign students appreciated the music. Why? I pointed out them to the translation of the lyrics. Thanks to the internet, okay? Now you can get the song in different languages automatically. Okay? What else? What else? Feedback from the students. Then, properly, I got a picture of the son, not wearing a suit this time, but wearing a Philippine barong, a painting with Philippine flag at the back. And during his birthday, I don't think nobody noticed that July was the birthday of his son. I forgot. But not only limited to economics, but whatever is happening outside. Because you can separate what's happening outside with our lessons, right? We have to make it relevant to them. Then I put there, I also promote Philippine art. So I borrowed some paintings in the internet. So I put that model picture. I put there, I think, also. I also promote street food. What else? TikTok menu. Eating. There's a profile na lahat nandun. Okay, I also promote cartoonist. I'm into cartooning. Okay, outside of, that's one of my interests. I put there a picture of Kalayaan. Okay, that's it. Yung pinaka-Superman natin. Okay. There's Kalayaan there sa profile pic. Tapos kung nga, meron parang Philippine flag yung suot. So there's a conscious effort on my part to do these things. Okay, let's say this. Now, okay, the second part, Joel will help me out this one, sa edu. Okay. So, instead of having engraved, of course, YouTube will always be there, and the other things, I found it very useful to migrate to edu. Okay. I'm not saying one of us should go to edu initially, but Joel hopes that one of us will migrate to edu. It's just a tool, right? It's like your cell phone. You have different brands. Whatever works for you, fine. You can say that Nokia or this Samsung or that Panasonic, that is. Depends on your needs. Depends on your needs. As far as I'm concerned, I'm happy with Facebook, but I think I'll be happier with Edu. So if we can connect to Edu, I'll just show you a brief rundown of the resources it's already put there. What I do is, okay, whenever I see a case study or a news item, I copy and paste it. I just put that in the resources I need for all my classes. Lagi ka na lang, binabank mo lang. Because sometimes, summer break, you see a very nice news from Yahoo, whatever, Google. Okay, you copy and paste. For you to use it maybe in the first or second semester.